That's a new lap pool here at the Gloucester Wave Pool, actually. They've done some renovations. You get a chance to come in and swim in the beautiful water every day if you like, and they've got a free swim going on right now. Just a fantastic way to get going, especially when you consider how cold it's getting outside and you know, people wanting to stay in shape. It's a great way to do it. So we're here with Scott Watson from Watson's Pharmacy. The reason we want to talk to you, especially today, is because we're sending people to Cuba, and you know, we're
awesome.
by the time they go, we'll have lost almost all pigment at that point, and then we're very, very vulnerable to the sun, more so than normal, even, right? Because you don't build up that tan or whatever. And some people are not interested in building up a tan in any way, shape, or form ever, because sun does damage your skin. So, with that in mind, Watson's Pharmacy actually has a very good array of products.
We do have a great selection. We have, in terms of sunscreens, what I always like to tell people is make sure you're doing it pre-sun, so you give yourself about a half hour before you're going into
Is that right?
That's right. So make sure it's lathered into your skin, but half hour before you're going to be out in the sun. You want that sunscreen nice and working.
Okay, so and having it, like, how much are you supposed to put on? This is always a question people have.
They always say liberally, so make sure you're doing lots. And
overkill doesn't hurt.
Overkill is not a bad thing.
Right,
okay. Also, maybe check the expiry date on your sunscreens. Some of these sunscreens do expire, and if you're putting those on, it's not a good thing.
There's already two things I didn't know. Okay, so these are the sunscreens over here, right?
There are a couple different types of sunscreens. I always think of the mineral-based sunscreens and the chemical-based sunscreens. Green Beaver is one that I like a lot, simply because that's a company that's close to Ottawa. Hawkesbury makes these mineral-based sunscreens, and I think they're very, very good products.
So they're effective, and they're based off of more natural products?
So there's zinc oxide and titanium dioxide. So these are mineral-based. They reflect the sun away from the skin. All
right. So that's a very very simple process comparatively. I guess if you want to use chemicals, it's a bit different, right? So you've got a couple of those. 30. I know a lot of people use 15. Is 15 really that effective? It just means you can be out, like SPF means what? So
that's sun protection factor, and what that means is it can stay in the sun 15 times as long as it would take to get a burn from without sunscreen.
All right.
So there's 30s. With some of the chemical sunscreens, you'll see that it's gone up incredibly, up to like even 100.
Wow, okay.
And,
so that, depending on how much protection you want, you can decide on that, right?
For me and most people, I think 30 is plenty.
Yeah, 30 works for me.
Some people like to go up higher.
Here's my question. And I think a lot of people wonder, does waterproof sunscreen, is it really waterproof?
Well, I do think it has a little bit of an advantage, but I always do say, you know, if you're in the water and you're sweating and you're playing, make sure you reapply after coming out of the water.
Yeah, and what about, is this a spray? What about sprays versus the cream lotions?
The great thing about some of these products are some people, you know, trying to get on a baby or a young child, it might be difficult.
Yeah.
Some of the sprays are very good, so it's a nice, handy way to get.
And are there regulations to make sure that these are the proper SPF? So this, when they say it works, then it really does.
You know, in Canada, I have seen companies stop selling in Canada because it's too hard. So I know Canada does a very good job of protecting us.
You go to Cuba, you mess up, you fall asleep on the beach. Help me out.
That's it. I mean, there are products that have aloe and anesthetics, which take away the pain, and those are good to apply afterwards.
I heard that if you want to save your skin a little bit too, moisturizer is a big thing after a burn. You know, because it dries out and peels. And
yeah, moisture is very important. I brought one here. Good old Uncle George, and that's one of my favorite moisturizers.
Yeah.
But any kind of moisturizer using, if you have burnt skin, applying that moisturizer in liberal amounts again is very good.
Yeah, and it's going to help you out because after the burn, we all know the itch shows up too. This is old school. I love it. It's been around forever.
Yep.
My mom used to, when I was out as a kid for too long, she'd be like, ooh, tss, and it was like the greatest feeling. Solar cane.
It helps. It helps, and that's a good tool to have in your chest for sure.
Perfect. All of these available at Watson's Pharmacy. You can drop on by and get some help, and everybody there can help you out in terms of choosing the right product.
Cuba,
that's right. That's where you want to go, on the way to Cuba. Have you been to Cuba before?
Never.
Never. See, you should go.
I would.
I should go. I've never been either.
I know, it'd be great.
It's in the agenda. We're back with more. Coming up, we're going to be giving away another trip. We have 5 more to give away. 5 lucky folks going to Cuba on our beach party. It's Seat in the Heat. We're back with more Top Headlines next.